Let's get it. And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. That's including the ice wall.
Ready?
Run from it.
Destiny arrives all the same.
And now
it's here. Or should I say,
we got breaking news. Give me that good news. Good news. Yeah. DaRon Bland. It's not so bland. Contract. Come on. Let's get it. Mama said that there will be days literally just like this. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Stand tall or not at all, baby. Riggs! Got a big slice of pie. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's get it. Hold on tight for me. Get on right with it. To the lean, to the rock with it, Cowboy Nation. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Come on with it. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight.
Spartans, prepare for glory.
The extension. Shout out to Jordan Shorts, who forced to report. Cowboys also is having talks with Tyler Smith, according to information. And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button. Sharing is caring, baby. Yeah. Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. To the window and to the wall. Come on with it. Yeah. Let's get it. All right. We're waiting on the presser too. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody, man, for rocking in with the nation. Put a 1 in the chat if you subscribe to this nation, too. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. This is Philly Hate Week. Let's not get that twisted. We're going to be armed and dangerous, you know. I can't stand the Eagles. The Eagles can't stand us. We're going to try to get things moving and grooving for this week. Cowboys heading into the season. Everybody starts over with a fresh sheet of paper. Everybody starts with a fresh sheet of paper, meaning that everybody starts off 0-0. My number one goal is by Friday, we look up, we look around, we look left, we look right, we look down, we look up again, and we will see ourselves being victorious by being 1-0. But according to information here, while I'm waiting for these things to materialize on the presser, shout out to you guys. Let me see if I can pull this up on my end on the other side so we'll know when it is locked and loaded and ready. Y'all know that when they have a presser, you know, they on our time, CPT time, you know, CPT time, Cowboys, Cowboys people time. All right, so on paper, it's a little wrinkle right now. That's okay, but that's okay. Let my guy jump on in here.
Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Come on with it. So with that being said, Cowboy Nation, according to Jordan Shorts, while we are waiting for this presser to kick on and be on, according to this information, it states right here that sources, the Cowboys all-pro cornerback. Look how they give him respect. Yeah, look how they give that kid respect. Cornerback, DaRon Bland. Look at that respect right there. All pro. They didn't say semi-pro. They didn't say half pro. They didn't say a piece of a pro. They said all pro. You know, put all pro by his name. You know, say his name. Put all pro DB in the chat. Put all pro DB in the chat. Put all pro DB in the chat. Agreed to a 4-year, $92 million. God. With $50 million guaranteed, regardless of the situation. This brother right here is good to go. First reported by Jay Glazer. Not saying that he glazing, though, by the way, but it's reported by him, the extension news. So we'll get the breakdowns of the terminology and things of that nature. I tell you what, by me looking over this stuff, let me know when the presser is live. Just put, hey, law is live. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's live, they talking. So we can get things going the best way possible. Happy Sunday to you all. This will be the last Sunday this year without seeing football, right? This is the last Sunday this year without seeing football. Oh, come on, Megatron. Come on, Megatron. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All pro DB, man. I love that respect. Appreciate y'all, man. Let me see. We got 2 super chats to come in, and we want to give y'all the love and adulations and all of that good stuff. Pittman states Bland got signed. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't know. You know. Breaking news. Pittman DP says Bland got signed. Appreciate you, my dog. B Bird says they had to sign someone. Right. We're I'm gonna see how far we can go without saying a certain name. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see how far we can go down this rabbit hole, right? Big Dallas basically says no. Now they can put Bland in the slot and he won't care. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, Bland was like, man, you can put me in the press box, man. Sure, I got 50 million guaranteed. I got 50 million reasons. I don't give a dog, you know. Yes, indeed. Okay, Matt Football game is on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. So shout out to you, Stephen Carroll. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for rocking and rolling with us. All right, so Todd Archer also report that this is some good news here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen right quick. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, dogs and frogs, okay? All right, birds, y'all get away. Get away. I'm telling y'all, we're going to be eating again birds, right? We ate birds in the final preseason game, and we're going to be eating birds this Thursday. I can't wait. We're going to deep roast them birds. Come on with it. And we're going to blend them, right? We're going to blend them in. All right, so it states here, Cowboys have talked to Pro Bowl guard Tyler Smith as well. He signed through next year, though, with his 5th-year option. Now, we ain't finna go down this little road, as what the pastors say from where I'm from in Mississippi. We ain't finna go down this road and allow this brother to make it through the end of this season. I think that what they should do ultimately now, ladies and gentlemen, is go ahead. Take a little faith. Lean on this right here, ladies and gentlemen, and go ahead and pay Tyler Smith, Smite Thy Smith with a good contract, because I think that will be the best way, right? Because at some point, Jerry Jones, and we know you hearing us, right? My guy John Machota already said that what they do is they wake up first thing in the morning and they check all of the social medias, and if anything is trending, they listen into it. So y'all already know they done seen me, they heard me, they know my name, say my name, when no one else around you, say, baby, I love you. Say, oh, my bad, wrong content. But y'all get what I'm saying. So what I'm telling y'all to do with this $38 million, $38.9 million, and we'll see what the money look like once this update with Bland, and maybe even more since we did the extension, right? Go ahead and get Tyler Smith, Smith is a real good player. He's going to be a real good player for many a moons. I think that this would be the proactive approach, get ahead of this, and so we won't be talking about money. We won't be talking about, hey, what would this happen and that happen? You got 38 million reasons, and then you have more and more money, more and more resources, and more things that's going to happen for the 2026 season, right? Because at the end of the day, we know that $111 billion with a B contract that you guys got with Amazon and beyond, right, is about to at least accumulate more and more money for the NFL, and as well as all of these documentaries, man. So the NFL also done land a deal with YouTube, right? And YouTube is all everywhere, and we know how much billions of dollars YouTube is making. So appreciate them. Let's figure out a way to get these things moving and grooving. So it's a 4-year extension, and if you like DaRon Bland, he's going to be here for a long time. And if you don't like DaRon Bland, he's going to be here for a long time. You know, put law on payroll. It's from Davies, you know. Payrolls come with constraints and constrictions and stuff like that. So I like to have this mouth here to say whatever we need to say. But it's on, baby. It's on and popping, all right? No visor, no hat, nothing.
Turned around.
Huh?
Yeah, you heard
Yeah. Heck yeah.
on you. That's all.
Keep the beard. Keep the beard, though.
I need that. Yeah, that's a
Keep
good
that
call.
baby beard.
Hey, it's a trend. If it was a visor, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. I might be too high. Mic check.
More people off than that.
Right there.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Looks as if you secured DaRon Bland for 4 years. How important is that to get this done right now?
Well, I think number one, I'm so happy for him, and just the way he's worked, and shot onto the scene a couple years ago, and just kind of came in and made an immediate impact as a rookie, playing nickel and doing things like that, and then to see him a couple years after that with all the pick sixes, and just I'm so happy for him and his family. He's a dad now, which I think is great, and I talked to him about it, and just he's such a humble young man, but so well deserved, and again, just one of those guys that you love him as a teammate, you love him as a competitor. Doesn't say much, but man, he gives you everything he's got, and I'm thrilled for him and his family, and just very well deserved.
You say he's a very quiet guy, and you've always said you're a relationship guy. So how did you kind of get him to open up more and more to you, especially at a time like this? Yeah,
it was one of the dinners in the spring that I did. He was part of a group of about 5 or 6 guys, and I actually remember kind of the way it started was, he was kind of sitting across from me, and I don't remember exactly who was all in there, but as dinner went, just hearing him open up a little bit more, and so bright, so intelligent, but just a man of few words. But it's just, and then obviously throughout the pregnancy and they had, and it's just, it's cool to watch these young men grow up. And he's certainly a guy that
$92 million
is a huge piece for us. And like I said, I'm thrilled for him.
Brian Todd Archer with ESPN. Are ball skills something that he has that can't be taught? A little bit with some guys. Yeah,
he does have incredible ball skills, but I also think Todd, he's got incredible instincts. His ability to study the game and his knowledge of the game for a young player, relatively young, are uncanny. Like his ability to read splits and anticipate routes and things like that. That usually happens when you're older. I always think of Stephon Gilmore, right? Like, those guys as they get older and they maybe lose a little bit of a step or something, they have to learn how to, read splits and things like that. But DaRon's just always had the ability to process things very quickly, and then he's certainly got elite change of direction and ball skills, which is why. The interceptions and the pick sixes per se have happened. But another guy fits perfect in our defense. No house guest. He's got flexibility. He can play nickel. He can play the boundary corner because he's so physical against the run. And key piece for the Dallas Cowboys.
You re-signed Jake. You've now signed him, and Tyler's in discussions as well. What's the importance of keeping these guys? Well,
again, we're a draft and develop team. We want to draft guys. We want to develop them. We've shown that we, have a great history here long before I got here of drafting players and developing them. And I think the cool thing when you look at the guys that you do that with is usually they don't change. Fergie hasn't changed a bit. He's still the enforcer that he likes to be, and half bit crazy all the time, which is awesome. I love being around him. And DaRon's not going to change, So I think anytime you can draft these guys, develop them, and then get them into a second contract, it's good to see, and you're thrilled for them and their family.
John Machota with The Athletic. Just on the cornerback position in general, how you feeling about it right now? Obviously knowing that you're getting Diggs back at some time in the near future, and then obviously having DaRon signed. Yeah, I mean, feel good. We've talked about there's help on the way, and I think Trayvon got through the other day. Awesome. He's been working his ass off, getting ready to go for this game. We'll see how he does today, but I feel good about it. I think we've got some flexibility. Kyrie's playing well, getting DaRon back. Certainly, we made some moves at final cut down with Triquez and Reedy. But I feel good. And again, I'm excited about that group because again we're getting healthy at the right time, and I think that matters. And then what are your expectations today for Kenny Clark? Yeah, again, Kenny was through the walkthrough, did all the things we're doing in the walkthrough. I think, again, he's been practicing. It's not like he hasn't been practicing, so he's in great shape. He's ready to go. His body feels good, and it's going to be fun to see him out there in pads.
Just messing with y'all.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. What would you say is DaRon Bland's leadership style since he is more of the quiet guy? Is it by example? Does he have guys that listen to him?
Yeah, I think he's definitely a leader by example, but I see him teaching guys. I see him grabbing guys. I mean,
appreciate you for your support.
He just does it his own way, but he's definitely a leader by example. I mean, the way he works, the way he practices, the way he runs to the ball, the way he, attacks meetings and things like that. He totally is a leader by example, and that's what I love about leadership. There's all different kinds of ways to do it, right? And I think that's why I think what we're trying to build here is so special because you've got different personalities. You've got guys that are quiet leaders. You've got guys that are leading by example. I'll transition a little bit and talk about. We just named our captains this morning. I was planning on having 4. That was kind of the goal, but the guys clearly spoke, and so we will have 6 captains in 2025. On defense, we'll have Osa and Donovan Wilson. On offense, we'll have Dak Prescott, CD. Special teams will have Aubrey and CJ. And they'll still be a captain of the week, not this first week, but they'll still be a captain of the week. But, you look at those guys and their leadership comes in all different, forms. And that's what I like. But, again, like I said, I was blown away. People ask me about the leadership of this football team. The guys made it very clear. Hey, Shotty, 4 is not enough. And so the way the voting came in, it was really close, and it'll be cool for those guys to have the C's on their jersey.
He here.
And you have the big trade on Thursday, but you have to quickly roll into week 1. How have you kind of seen the team take the next step and move on and really put all the focus on Philly?
Yeah, Bonus Monday was good for us the other day, whatever the heck day that was, just to get them in and get them moving again after 3 days off. And they came in today, had great juice, great energy in the meeting, and excited about our Wednesday prep. This is what we call Competition Wednesday, and there'll be a winner and a loser and everything that we compete at, and bags and practice and competitive. We got a red zone period that we'll do competitively.
CJ got 10 lives.
But the guys were dialed in and excited to go and ready to kick off the season.
Don't nobody want CJ but the Cowboys. That's wild.
DaRon, how valuable is the ability for him to play outside and in, especially considering how much the nickel corner spots kind of changed over the years?
All you had to do, CJ, is follow the
number
track.
One, it gives us the versatility and the multiplicity that we want, where we can change up different personnel groupings, and from a play caller, that can be really hard because there's certain times you're like, well, where is he? Like teams have done that for a long time with Jalen Ramsey. He's outside, he's inside, he travels, he doesn't travel. So I think that's so powerful for us. But it's not even that. It's like he's good at both, which is really cool. Sometimes guys are, they're really good outside corners. They're okay nickels. He's not. He's really good inside. He proved that as a rookie. He's proved that this year. He's also really good on the outside covering guys. So I think that's just a huge, huge benefit for us. And he's a good blitzer.
Alfred,
he's a good
you got
tackler.
No Sal?
The coverage skills speak for themselves. And, like I said, it's invaluable.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Obviously, you have long-term ambitions here as a coach. what does it do for you when you're able to lock up a guy long term and you find that out that this guy is in your team's plans for a while?
Yeah, again, I think
hit that like button,
this team's going to be defined by more than just one person. We talked about that the other day. It's going to take the whole team and all 53 plus 69 total. And but again, I'm just happy for DaRon. I just think it's a guy that's worked incredibly hard, and here he is, fifth round draft pick, fifth. Thank you. And to come in and to shoot onto the scene and play the way he did, and you don't announce it to the guys until it's signed, and so they'll all know, but we'll make a big deal about it tomorrow, just like we did with Ferg.
And then Tyler Smith, that's a guy who's obviously progressed pretty well in his career so far. What have you seen from him just from a day-to-day basis, and what are your ambitions for him going into this year specifically?
Yeah, well, again, I think the guy's an all-pro guard. Yeah. I think he's incredible talent. Another one of those guys drafted.
Man, we ain't going to hear nothing until y'all hit that like button, man. Bump them likes up, y'all. Only 200 likes. Only 200 likes.
He's probably one of our hardest practice players that we have. And he's not missed a beat, has not said a word. I think that's one of the things that you respect about him is just a competitor. And but yeah, what a talent, And so hopefully he's the next one that is able to get done.
Y'all pay attention to Mr. Law in the chat. I like that name, Mr. Law.
Micah was a unique talent with special abilities. He was thrust into becoming an edge after circumstances kind of warranted that. Do you see DeMarvin and Odor showing when he
Why would they bring up that name?
Traits or abilities?
We were doing good.
To maybe rush the passer more and change from a linebacker to that.
Well, obviously, Demo. There's not many things Demo can't do. He's really good at a lot of different things. He's very good blitzer. Now, playing on the edge is different side. I mean, it is a little bit different. You're blocking, going up against bigger men. Tackles are bigger, longer, stronger than sometimes getting matched up on backs. But I wouldn't bet against Demo. I'll reiterate what I said the other day. I think pass rush for us is one of our deepest positions that we have. You look at Sam and Donovan and Dante and Marshawn and James Houston. I mean, we're deep at that spot, but Demo can pretty much do anything, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention, my heart goes out to Leroy Jordan's family. I'm a football junkie, I'm a football nerd, and I grew up with a dad that, played kind of in that era, and, member of the Doomsday Defense. Just my heart goes out to his family.
Garrett
Podell, CBS Sports. Brian, when we see these contracts for cornerbacks, typically outside corners typically get paid a little more. Now that DaRon is paid, do you feel like, that maybe helps the ability to communicate to him and say, hey, we might need you to be inside because Tyler Elam might be a little better outside or whatever? Do you feel like this contract kind of helps you be more versatile with him now going forward?
Well, we were going to be versatile with him no matter what, because that's the type of competitor that DaRon is. DaRon's never said, hey, I'm not going to play nickel or I'm not going to do this. Right. He sees himself as an elite cover corner. I do too. He's freaking amazing.
Me too.
Again, we're going to move him around. It's got nothing to do with the contract.
Angie Rebel Chicks $9.99. Law, how many shots of that UWE you had to take to get past that trade? Asking for the nation.
About 20.
Got it. Of your captains, Donovan Wilson seems to be similar to Bland, a very quiet guy. Did that surprise you, or did it tell you a little bit about what Donovan does behind the scenes a little bit?
Well, I think they look at his play style. There's an intensity with Dono. I love the guy. I love the guy. Like when I go around and I talk to the guys before practice, Calvin, it's like, the handshake, the embrace, but the eye contact is just different. I mean, the guy just loves football, and so that's why you let the players vote. I think the players got it right. There were more guys that were also deserving, but you're allowed 6-ish, and so the numbers were a little bit separated, but again, it speaks to the leadership of our football team. And it's not just going to be those 6 guys that lead us. Tyler Smith's a leader on this football team. He wasn't named captain. He had a lot of votes, but he just came up a little short of those other guys. And Malik Hooker, I go on, Brian Anger. I can go on and on and on about the leadership of this football team. And we're going to need that. There's going to be adversity this season. No one's standing up here saying there's not going to be adversity. So when you have strong chemistry and connection, but also leadership, that's a huge advantage for a football team.
Scott.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. Last year, you all kind of had the automatic third quarterback with the way the roster was set up with Trey. This year, it's a little different sort of decisions you'll have to make along those lines. How do you view that emergency quarterback? When, from my point of view, it kind of looks like a free roster spot on game day, but how do you see it?
Yeah, well, again, it's a tool that some people use. We obviously have a few guys. I'm not going to share with you right now who those guys would be in an emergency situation. You have guys that are prepared to play quarterback if it gets to that point. But, yeah, I mean, it does have its benefits. And I think at the end of the day, you know, I think this is nothing new. Most teams get into a situation where they have to have somebody that's ready to do it. It's been different places. It was our punter for us in Jacksonville. It wasn't McAfee, I don't think. I don't think we trusted Pat. Sorry, Pat. I know you're probably watching this. But yeah, it's different guys. And so we have a few guys. And, again, the menu will be a little smaller than what the call sheet would normally look like. But we have guys that we feel like.
Man, only 450 likes, man. Come on, man. Help a brother out. HBO me, man. HBO me with the likes.
Development. What's your kind of overall view of quarterback development in the NFL?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm going to go back, Skyler, because I think I've talked about this before. When you have three, it's hard. Your starter needs a lot, and even Dak wants a lot, especially when you're doing early looks early in the week, like a day like today. He's going to want most of those, if not all of those, and we'll get those. But you got to try to get the other two some reps. But Rich Gannon was a guy that I remember. He was kind of the backup. He didn't need a lot of reps, but he always wanted those third down blitz reps because that was the closest thing that he could get to game reps, the feel of third down blitzes and guys coming from, you know, the posts and off the edges.
I didn't know he coached with Gannon.
Responsibilities and things like that. So
that boy been around for a long
you'll
time.
watch Joe and those guys and Will, when they're not in there, they're kind of behind shadowing, and that's a big part of it. And then as soon as practice ends, Steve Shimko will take Will and those guys, and they'll go and basically any ball.
Shout out to you, Yanni.
They'll call the play.
Law
and
Nation for life.
that. And so they can get through. We started it 2004 or 5, I guess, with Phillip Rivers is when we first started doing it. So
damn, he was with Rivers too, Phillip Rivers.
Throws. So if he throws the comeback over here, he throws the comeback. Then he threw a slant over here, he throws a slant. So they're getting their throws. They're getting their footwork. It's not perfect, but they are getting the work and the throws that they need.
What are your expectations for captains?
Yeah. Be the guys to the forefront that lead us. Be the guys that are communicating. Be authentic. I think that's a huge thing for me. You know, be authentic. You know, lead the way you want to lead. But again, they will. You know, certainly my door is always open for anybody. You don't just have to be a captain, but I would hope that if there was an issue that maybe didn't make it to me,
Packers gamer,
one of those 6 guys would certainly bring it to me. Hey, we're having a little issue here that you probably need to address. That would be expected of them. And,
salute to the Packers.
For the most part, it's just help with the connection and the chemistry that we're working with.
And then Calvin kind of mentioned it with Wilson CD as well. You've talked about his growth. Can you revisit that? Like when you first were around him as your consultant year, did you ever think, oh yeah, I can see him being a captain one day?
I really could, just because of his love for the game. You know, the passion and the way he plays the game, I think, Todd, is incredible. But CD's been different. I think, you know, back this year it started not just with the GP thing, but again, I think, you know, last year missing training camp, you know, reminded him how much he loves football. I was actually not surprised by that one. I was actually not surprised at all that CD got as many votes as he did, because he's a great player, but he's one of our best practice players. And again, you see him doing being much more intentional, I would say, in terms of leadership, talking to younger guys and things like that. And for me, it's just been fun to watch him grow into that. And I think he's truly just getting started.
Brad
Sham, Cowboys Radio 105 through the fan.
Brad Sham.
You made such a point of knowing your players as people. What do you suppose you would do if this vote came back and they'd elected a captain about whom you thought, oh, no way?
Well, I would have named him captain. The players speak. I mean, like I said, I wanted 4. They said, when you looked at the numbers, Brad, they said, no, it's not 4, it's 6. They see something. They might have seen something different than I did, but I trust the guys, and I know them, and I know that they're going to vote with their hearts. They're going to vote for truly who they believe will lead us, and be resilient and be disciplined to work every day and do the things they're supposed to do. So you saw me. I didn't bat an eye. I'd name them.
Nick.
When DaRon Bland was coming out, I'm not sure how much you were part of those draft day conversations, but do you remember anything about that? And if not, okay, then
I don't.
When was the first time you saw the dog in him, the intention of him to where he could be thrown into a starting role rookie year and then first team All-Pro?
Bland, baby!
I was up in the box with DQ. I can't remember. I think we were playing the Giants, and he was playing nickel, and they ran a little stop route kind of in between the hash with the tight end.
Put
and he was
all
playing
pro
like
Bland in the check.
A cover 2 look, and he read the quarterback's eyes, and he squeezed the tight end on the hook just inside the deal and picked it off. It's an incredible play because it was a bang play. And I remember just up in the box watching and seeing the quick twitch and the ability to close a seam like he did, but also it was a contested like the tight end was reaching like this, and he came in and scooped it and stole it from him. And I remember going, damn, that was a hell of a play.
Play like me, baby. Play like me. All pro.
He did it a lot in practice as well, but that was the first time. I think it was the Giants. It was an interception that he came with. I think it might have been his first one of his career. But it was kind of a wild play.
We know how you feel about Dak as a leader and everything else. How does the Micah trade change how you lean on him for messaging and everything else?
Why you had to bring it up?
Forward?
Yeah, I don't. Nothing changes. I think Dak doesn't need to be the only leader we have. The guys have just identified a bunch of other guys. Dak needs to play quarterback, and Dak needs to try to lead the league in wins. That's what we're trying to do. If we can lead the league in wins,
I love that. Lead the league in
wins.
That's the best stat.
But again, we're strongest when we have all of our guys. I think Kenny Clark's going to be a leader at some point. He's just a new face, And, again, the more I get to know him and the more the guys get to know him, I think, he's going to be seen as a leader. I think, Jake Ferguson's another guy, got a bunch of votes, But when it's spread out the way it is, it makes you go, yes, we have the right type of guys, and they will pull on you. And it's going to take different guys to speak up, because there's going to be some days when the offense plays well and the defense does. There's going to be other days where the defense is amazing and we shit the bed. And it's going to take guys willing to step up, be accountable, say, hey, we need to be better, because at the end of the day, this is the ultimate team game. And I'm thrilled to have the type of leadership we have in that locker room.
Did y'all hear that? Team game.
We know this is a business,
Let's
obviously. Do you think fans, maybe even us in the media, forget about, when you mentioned CD, how much they, especially in his case, how much he missed the game? Because he wanted to play, but the business kind of got in the way of that.
Yeah, I think this is the greatest game in the world.
Lead the league and wins. That's
you
all we
start
care
playing
about.
this game.
Win games.
When you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I mean, I used to play literally flag football and backyard, football, and you just love it, and you don't care. You don't care who you play with, where are we playing in the street, we playing in the field, we playing at the park, where are we playing? But you just love the game, and these guys, they don't feel different. They still love stepping out between the white lines. They still love going into that huddle and sometimes laughing and making jokes and sometimes screaming at each other. But the game is such a pure thing, man. And they just love it. And when it's taken away from you from time to time for different reasons, you mentioned business, it reminds you of how blessed we are to be able to do what we do.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, hey. They give us a warning or anything. Yeah. Didn't give us anything. Just said, hey, all right, thank you. Man, lead the league in wins. That's the number one stat. Man, Shotty. Good Lord, Shotty. Thursday is right around the corner. Competition Wednesday is supposed to be, I guess, however they making this day out today. They're going to make this day very competitive. They're going to compete today. And I love that aspect of it. And he listened to the voting committee or what have you. Now, I don't know if they're going to have new captains every week like the old school Mike McCarthy was doing. But I do like the fact that they voted upon this. And the 6 guys that came back were those guys that they mentioned. Was it Osa is one of them? Was it Dono? I can't go off the top of my head. Let me go right here. CJ, I know for sure one of them. Let me see. I think I did retweet that. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. The leaders.
Syndicate Charles $5. This is what I love to hear, football talk and positive talks.
Yes, indeed. The Cowboys PR did a great job today. They made sure that they said, okay, let's do a presser on a Sunday. This is the holiday weekend. And they said, okay, let's turn this into let's be active. And the Bland family, man, shout out to Daddy Bland, Mama Bland, and Baby Bland, and DaRon Bland, and all of the Blands and all of the Blands. I know that y'all are very happy. And got some Mississippi ties in there, too. Yeah, Mississippi ties with the Bland. But that's a whole nother conversation with the plan. But I would say the captains are Dak Prescott, C. Dangerous Lamb, Osa Digel-Zua, Donovan Wilson, and as well as, I believe, CJ and somebody else. It's somebody else, right? But those are your leaders. Take me to your leaders. Let's figure out a way. We got an uphill battle. But in the words of Uncle Charles, he always give us these good words of it, and it is literally states,
sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be all right on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you.
If you
win or lose, you know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday.
Yeah. Come on, AI. Come on. I had to play that.
AREDITS $5. Do you think we are going to bring back Gilmore or use one of the picks we got from the Packers trade before Thursday?
The answer to that is no. I think that the Gilmore thing didn't sell. I don't want to call the man twerk, but try Bridges. They're gonna give a shot at him, man. I think that he needs to be in this system a little bit longer before they move on from him. And then Reddy Stewart, I believe they gonna go with the youth. The thing is with Stephon Gilmore is that we got to understand that was more of the older regime. None of these guys, as far as coach with him outside of Shotty, So I get with what you're saying. We all campaign for Stephon Gilmore, but he have no sponsors in the building here. Now, a lot of things can change from today until Thursday and then Thursday until the next week, but I think that they're going to go ahead and move on without bringing him back to the table, right? And words are reported from what's this guy named Brian Broadus is the fact that also Gilmore haven't been passing any physicals or being able to run, so that's another part of the equation. Walter says, "Hear me out, Law. Go get Trayvon Walker or Will McDonald. Far as an additional edge rushing, well, the Cowboys are going to do edge rushing by committee, right? And there's no big eyes, no little U's, no rogue players going around freestyling and trying to figure out ways to get things going. They're going to fabricate the pressure. They're looking at it like it just goes back to my first interactions with Matt Eberflus. When I asked him, I said, how do you feel about this team? From as far as the defensive line, and this is before the draft because this is when we had the conversation with him. His eyes like literally popped out of his face, and he was like, "Man, that Marshawn Nealon," and he was very, very high on Marshawn Nealon. So this was before Donovan Ezaraku, and he's very high on Sam Williams. So those two things right there is a situation that we have to see. It's good for us. And it can be bad for us because it is for what it is. In the words, absolutely.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
We don't know, right? So when we look at the construct of this team, right, we do know that we're gonna have some guys to shoot up field. It's gonna be an attacking style defense. Meaning that you can't put your hands on your hip, Eagles. Y'all better be in tip-top shape as it relates to your O-line. And I know they are the best offensive line in the National Football League. Oh, yeah. But I got to go back to my guy. Yeah. What did he say, y'all? On paper, what did he say on paper?
Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. Wow.
So sometimes in life, and I know some people can be talking about, hold on. Okay. Sometimes in life, have you ever heard of the expression overconfident? You can have too much confidence. You can have too much, oh man, this is a bag. And I know it's unheard of. To have a trap game week 1. But dog it, I love for us coming into this game, being the underdogs. When everyone is counting us out, we can go in with the J. Cole mentality, middle child. They counted us out, and that's okay because we loading up our clips. Somebody can put the lyrics in the chat, but we just loading our clips. We writing down names. We write down everything that people are saying about us. They saying that we don't have a chance, but I'm telling y'all, we do have a puncher's chance because nobody know what this defensive line is going to look like. They have some clues of what this DB room is going to look like, but nobody know what this D line is going to look like. They haven't foreseen the aspect of the linebackers, right? And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the running game by committee. We going back to that approach. Nobody knows how this running game is going to look like. Now, there are some known knowns, right? And that is Dak Prescott. Now, either you're going to see the 2023 version of Dak Prescott, just being 1,000 with y'all, or we're going to see what we saw last year from Dak Prescott. And he didn't look good in a few games. He didn't. I'm the first one to say that. But it goes back to if this team is healthy, everything works its way out.
$5.
Immortal.
Outside of injuries, I don't see how this team can't be a good team. I'm not screaming SB, but they could be playoff viable.
You know what? You know what the best thing that can happen to us? If we start getting things moving and grooving, people saying, hey, maybe next year. Maybe they're a year, maybe in one more year. No. We hit the element of surprise. And it's hard to hit anyone with surprise when you are the star. The star is meant to be bright. The star is not meant to be dim. And that's who we live by. We live by the brightness, right? But when that star started dimming, right, and start to see that, man, that star look like it's falling. That's not finna happen this year because it's not meant to be dimmed. This is a bright
City
star.
Kid Charles $5. Chat room, if you all really care for law, let me see. 1K likes and I'll donate to him 50.00. He has to get 1K in likes in 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Ready, set, hit.
Go ahead. All right. All right, let me see right here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I got Jeremy, thank you for the cash. Michael, thank you for the cash. And Martinez, thank you for the cash. Thank all of you guys for supporting the nation via Cash App. Appreciate y'all. All right, so with that being said, what they was talking about in this presser, which was one of the major things that I like to go over just quickly, is the aspect of where to absolutely look at this defense versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to try my best not to mention MP, right? And y'all know who MP is. I'm not finna mention MP. We're going to try our best to move forward and not mention M and a P. I get all of that. So it do make it harder to be able to go through these terrains. But I do like the aspect of how they brought this up to each and every last one of the people that was listening, is that now since you got Bland paid, and Bland is one of those guys that you know for sure you can play anywhere in the secondary. Matter of fact, Bland is such a competitor that you can also put him on kick returns, punt returns, but that's a whole nother storyline. So when we start talking about Bland, and now that he got his corns, his remunizations, it is a situation that you don't have to worry about, hey, they trying to hose me because now they forcing me to play inside, and I know where the money is on the outside. So we know that money is not the issue now, right? So we can move forward with him playing anywhere and everywhere on this particular situation. Bland is the key, and I'm going to say this again. Bland is the key to at least slowing down this Philadelphia offense. He will be the key. We know that Diggs, I don't know, unless they've been hoodwinking us. I've seen Diggs run the hills. I've seen him stop and go. I've seen him stop his feet and continue to move laterally. I have seen Diggs do all of those things. And Coach Des just lamented today that Diggs is in pretty much decent health. So Diggs is the biggest unknown right now. Diggs is the biggest unknown. Elam, we just got to see him in a Cowboys uniform. We only saw a sample size, Costco sample size of him in preseason. And he was playing not to get hurt. He was just trying to get his feet together on him. So he's the other unknown in this equation. He's the biggest unknown in this equation. So we got to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a situation and scenario that if we can work these things out, I had posted a deal the other day. And shout out to Trayshawn Holden. He'll be wearing number 80 if you follow numbers that way. You know, shout out to him. Kudos and credence to Trayshawn Holden. All right, I'm gonna try to get my AI teacher involved and get things going and moving and grooving in this particular aspect. I put 5 reasons Cowboys Jerry Jones, GM, that we're going to be better than what we were the previous year, right? And 5 reasons to say to ourselves how we going to look for the 2025 season. Bear with me. I'm finna pull this up right quick, so y'all bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Continue to hit that support button, subscribe, and get everything going. All right, so AI Tisha, let's get it going. Can you give the 5 reasons of what I put out there as far as that report? Whenever you get a chance, whenever time permits.
5 reasons owner, GM Jerry Jones's Tosh Cowboys should have a great football season this year. 1. Upgraded defensive line with Kenny Clark.
Right.
Adding Kenny Clark to the interior gives Dallas something it hasn't had in years, a true disruptive force at defensive tackle. His ability to collapse the pocket and control the run game will free up edge rushers and linebackers, allowing the defense to be more balanced and physical.
All right, so Kenny Clark is a guy with the kind of caliber of skill set that we can lean on as it relates to this D-line. This is not up for debate. This is not up for debate. But these are truths that you guys got to hear. And we're going to play a film session afterwards, after this conversation right quick. It's the simple fact that the Cowboys been allergic at that one tech spot. Regardless of how we slice this line together, this is one of the things that we have to say to ourselves. We got 738 likes. Appreciate y'all. Stephen Carroll says, chat, get these likes up. I'll match Sadiq for the $50. So, man, we got $100 on the line. If y'all can all hit that like at one time, just do it for your boy. So what I'm getting at is that regardless of the situation, they did exactly what I said that I want the Cowboys to do. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, bring in a veteran defensive tackle and alleviate some of the pressures that we can see from Mozzie. Not pressures that he's going to get in the game, but the overbearing pressure of playing in the National Football League as a first-round draft pick that got to get things moving and grooving in his year 3. Mozzie would be a better Mozzie at 10 to 20 reps versus 60. Appreciate you. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. Q Brown says, Donovan's skill set, can you see him having 10 sacks? As a rookie, that's going to be a lovely thing. If any of these guys, if any of these guys, I'm being 1,000 with y'all, if any of these guys on this D-line get a sack, I'm talking about the edge rushers, Nealon, Williams, Donovan, Dante, Houston, James, Houston, James, if any of these guys get a sack against Jordan Mailata or what's the other guy named Lane Johnson or what have you, it's going to be a plus for us regardless of the situation. It's going to be like, oh wow, we about this right now. You know what I'm saying? And that would be a good thing for us. And they do have some studs on their offensive line. But this is the philosophy that we're looking for. I did this video just the other day. I appreciate you, Trayvon Williams. He did a super chat. We're going to let the AI speak on it whenever she get a chance while I'm loading this up. I appreciate everybody, man, for jumping in and rocking in with the nation on that. And those are things that we're looking for. Let the AI speak. Let her speak now or forever hold her peace.
Trevon Williams, $19.99.
Trey.
If the Chiefs, Eagles, or Ravens make the same trade, it stings, but you have faith in what their front office has shown you the ability to do. This isn't about losing Parsons. It's about faith in Jerry.
You try not to say that word, MP. It's about having faith in Jerry. I have zero. All right, so here's the only thing that we do know. Is that we got 2 first-round draft picks. 2 first-round draft picks. They did lament the fact that they will be willing to package some of those things, and the trade deadline is not until sometime in November or close around the way of that time frame. Maybe, just maybe, ladies and gentlemen, if things are not operating right, the sense of urgency, the need to be right, could be a thing that we can get things moving with. We know Jerry wants to be right about this situation, and he will burn down the Star in Frisco to be right. So that's one thing that we got in our bag, the need to be right. And Jerry wants to be right about this, and that's the best thing that can go for us collectively by me not mentioning MP. Boy, I'm doing a good job, man. Don't y'all know how hard it is? Don't y'all know how hard it is not to mention that? Yeah, it's hard, baby. As you say, you got to be hard from the start. All right, so let's play this right quick. Appreciate everybody that's listening in. This is a guy that they just picked up just the other day, right before all of the MP news happened or what have you. But this is a situation that we can find a way to utilize and use, but I want y'all to pay attention to the philosophy and the principle of what we about to go over.
Look into the film. In this video, we're looking at Deo. And however you say the man's last name, he's Nigerian. He will be on this team, but in the capacity of a practice squad. They're going to try to work him into this system here. Now, he do have some experience with Matt Eberflus.
Turk
right,
Edwards,
in the system and what have you. He's looking for a guy.
My birthday is September 2nd,
I kind of got him,
and
like
the
I
Cowboys
said,
will
the
beat the
Chauncey
Eagles on the
Colstons of
4th.
the world. More of a tweener. He's
shout out to you, Turk. Let's get it.
Line up on the line. And the coaches want to move him all the way around this LOS. And you can see he got some pass rush moves here. Disengage, able to get skinny, knife inside. And watch this, disengage, playing half man, and get around and get to the quarterback. Those are things that we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. When you're looking at someone that got good burst and get off the line here, and he can penetrate and get upfield. No bendingness out of his skill set, but he got good, strong hands. Plays with a little too high of a pad level at times. So he's raw in a sense, right? But he's good at stopping the run, and I give him credit for that.
I think that the Cowboys would utilize and use him in that particular light of a guy that's going to rotate in, playing at 5 tech, playing some wide 9 if he's on the outside, or playing him down inside and moving him around the LOS. So that's what you're going to see out of him and his skill set. He's good on stopping the run. He's good at penetrating, getting upfield, but he's raw. And I think that the Cowboys are just adding more and more pieces to the table of these type of body types, body frames, of what Matt Eberflus system is. Now, what's good about this is you got Aaron Whitecotton. Aaron Whitecotton, everywhere he's been known to improve on the D-line, whereas a project of getting guys shooting their hands right? And we can see that he got some skill sets in his game, right? And he got some good recognition to come down, crash, and make a play right here. So those are things that we look for. It's a situation that the Cowboys, we all need size on that LOS, right? Get off the double team right here and make the tackle. So those are things that we can see out of his skill set. Is he a world beater? No. I don't think that he's that, but he's an added piece to this D-line that can help out down the stretch. One of the things that I look forward to is the separation that these guys can get when they are in a tight pinch, right? Not allowing the opposition to get his hands cleanly on him. He's able to knock that off. And if he can play like this on a consistent basis, you'll hear his number get called up, right? So those are things, and he's been a journeyman. He bounced around to multiple teams, and that's because of his skill set. And he don't have a definitive role on a team because he's such a raw guy. And hopefully the Cowboys can find a way to utilize and use him so they can benefit this team, right? We know we need help on stopping the run. Well, you got a guy downhill, good frame, good size, or what have you, that can help out and to alleviate some of those things. So that's why the Cowboys picked him up, because he's familiar with the system, right? So that's what we're looking for out of this altogether collectively. And when we start talking about these things, it is a very natural way to get somebody that can fit what you like to do so that they can be in the room so that they can help you out tremendously as it relates to down the stretch. Cowboy Nation, this Dayo, hope all is well with him, the Nigerian guy. Hopefully he can work out well. Like I said, he's more of like a Chauncey Golston type. And hopefully he'll fit right on in. Nothing that can really stretch the imagination that he will be on the starting lineup here. But more so practice squad. And maybe he can get elevated down the stretch in the pinch. But he fits the type and body type that Matt Eberflus is looking for. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. All right. So that was the new guy, the new arrival of this other guy. Let me know how y'all like about his skill set and beyond, and we can get things moving and grooving from here. And let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go.